Morning. This is the Verbal Nonsense Podcast. I'm Joel.
And I am Todd.
What you got for us today, Todd?
Well, in Troy, Missouri. This is Troy, New York, not Troy, Missouri. I've got a friend who lives up in Troy, Missouri, but this is in Troy, New York. There is a guy who's arrested 3 times due to Troy, New York, allowing criminals to be released with a ticket basically to appear in court. Now, this guy assaulted somebody, and instead of being arrested and taken to jail, they gave him a ticket to appear in court for his assault. And then a few hours later, he robbed a store.
They gave him another ticket?
They did give him another ticket. and then he assaulted another person. This was all in one day, 3 times within 7 hours. And basically, The police are saying maybe we actually need to start arresting people.
Isn't that the way you're supposed to do it? Someone commits a crime, you arrest them for it?
Possibly. The 3rd time, actually, he was charged with 3rd-degree criminal possession of a weapon. That's what actually kept him in custody. The initial assault case, apparently he just punched somebody, and that wasn't enough to take him in to try to sort things out. They just had to let him out, and then he did some shoplifting, and then I guess he brandished a weapon against someone, and that was enough. Apparently, the New York Police Department says, hey, you know what? People aren't afraid to commit crimes anymore because we're giving them tickets for things like murder. And that's a little extreme. They didn't say that, I said that. But it's a real morale killer, is what they're saying. You know, they're not going out there to do real police work. That's essentially what's going on. You know, I'm going to take it a step further. When you give people warnings, they're going to do these same kinds of things. You know, if you're in a hurry and you're like,
hey, I just broke the law and I got a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. Speeding is the one that immediately came to mind. It's like you get pulled over for doing 72 and a 65. The officer pulls you over and he says, hey, I'm just going to let you off with a warning this time. Slow down. And you're like, okay. And then he gets back in his car and you see him turn around in the median in the highway and go the other direction. What are you doing?
Going back to speeding.
You're doing 80 because you got to make up for lost time of being pulled over. You know, maybe if we actually gave tickets and held people accountable for committing, violating, I don't know, traffic laws might not seem like that big a deal. I know people who do 90 to 100 on their way to work every single morning. I know because they pass me.
I know people who get tickets all the time. I know people who had so many marks on their license, then they still speed. So, yeah, I mean, if I get caught one more time, I'm going to lose my license. Well, stop speeding, idiot.
It's a rough life, but yeah. I can't drive 55.
Maybe leave a little earlier than you normally do.
I have a routine, bro. I gotta arrive to work panic that I'm not gonna make it. That's what gets my blood pumping in the morning.
Oh my goodness. Well, since we're talking about law enforcement,
that's our first time. We've never talked about it before. It's our first time ever talking about people getting arrested.
Yes. Richard Lee is a police chief for nearly 20 years in New Hampshire until 3 members of the select board voted to rely solely on coverage from the New Hampshire State Police during the meeting. He worked part-time as the only member of the department, which covers the town of Croydon's roughly 700 residents. He was told to immediately turn in his guns and uniform, as well as the keys to his police cruiser. So he took off his gear before the board chairman. He completely stripped off his uniform, his guns, and he walked home in his underwear in the snowstorm.
Mm-mm.
Yep. He gave them his uniform shirt, his turtleneck, the ballistic vest. He took off his boots and pants, put those in the chair. He put his boots back on, and he walked out the door. And there was a snowstorm going. We just walked home in his underwear and his boots.
Why'd they fire him again?
Basically, they're saying that they were just going to rely on the state police.
Oh, so now this one-horse town doesn't even have a horse.
Yeah, pretty much. You know.
See, that's
apparently
the kind
they don't have enough going on to actually need a police chief. So they're just like, we're going to rely on the state police. And he was just like, hey, turn all your stuff over. And he's like, oh, dude, I'll let it know.
Wow.
And since he arrived in the police cruiser, he just walked home in his underwear.
Home. It's like,
you probably could have turned that stuff in later, dude.
I think I saw a show like this one time. I think it was called Super Troopers, where they were like, we're getting rid of the highway patrol. It's just going to be city cops. Yeah.
But apparently it was snowing. It was 26 degrees out, but he got like maybe a mile before his wife picked him up.
Dang. I'm surprised she didn't leave him out there for losing his job. You know, maybe if you did better police work, they wouldn't think that the state police can just do it for you. What am I going to do to protect these 700 citizens? That's 700 souls left unprotected. I bet he still cruises the streets vigilante style.
Ooh.
Kicking in doors like he's
I know what you did, Martha.
Charles Bronson busting up meth labs by himself in Death Wish.
Oh man.
You might take the badge out of the man, but you can't mess that up. You can take the badge off the cop, but you can't take the badge out of the man. Oh no.
Speaking of law enforcement, did you hear about the FBI agents raiding 2 businesses in Thayer?
No.
Yeah, my wife told me about that this morning.
Get out of town.
And apparently this happened Thursday? Wednesday. Last Wednesday.
Thayer, Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah. They said about 20 FBI agents showed up, and they were carrying like computers and boxes of files out of 2 businesses on Chestnut Street. I'm trying to see Angels LLC and Readers Club of America as the businesses.
They sound like fronts. Come on.
Both are listed as magazine sales. Neither are accredited by the BBB. I don't know. The Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
Neither have signage, and neither have signs on their buildings. Yeah, those are fronts for something.
Nice. I wonder what they found.
Said agents spent hours taking property out of the buildings, possibly looking for evidence of a scam.
Oh, you think?
FBI agents said that they kind of suspected some sort of fraud and that they were targeting, it seemed, elderly people or people with dementia stealing money somehow. That's just sad.
So these are probably... We have some very harsh laws against this in Missouri, and rightfully so.
Yeah, taking advantage of old people or people with dementia. That's just low.
That's real low. But hey, you know what? Baby girl needs a new pair of shoes. You know, when your wife needs those Chanel handbags, sometimes you just gotta scam some old folks.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you can't exactly be popping in a Hyundai. You gotta drive that Mercedes. So that's rough.
Oh.
All right, we've been jumping on the old coronavirus last couple weeks, but I found this: China is disinfecting and destroying mountains of cash to stop the spread of the virus. And by cash, I mean cash money. I mean physical currency. Yeah, they're trying to any means necessary to stop this virus from spreading. So they are taking money from registers, and I'm hopefully replacing it. They've got people picking up from businesses and things of that nature, and they are tossing it in incinerators. Mountains and mountains of I don't know what they have. What do they have?
I'm gonna look that up because is it yens or is
That's
yens
the Japanese. That's the free country of Japan. I don't know. It probably says somewhere in the article, but I'm not that interested. I'm just kidding. I'm very interested. I'm wondering how much of it actually gets into the incinerators, and how many more of these China bucks are going to infect more people.
The official name for Chinese currency is renminbi. The most widespread international usage is yuan. No. But the currency is abbreviated to RMB.
Okay.
I have
renminbi. That would cost 10
or
renminbis.
the Hong Kong dollar.
Oh, I like China bucks better.
China bucks.
I'm just gonna call them China bucks from here on now. That will be referencing what that is. But apparently
in English, some people call it the Chinese dollar.
China bucks will be how would I refer to it in. But previous studies have shown money can be incredibly dirty. Of course, each dollar pressed from person to person has a bit of the environment it comes from. And things including DNA and viruses and bacteria easily stick to the material of their money, which they're not saying what they actually make theirs out of. We of course make our money out of children's hair. That's why it's so hard to counterfeit. I'm sure in China they make their dollars out of actual human beings.
Human skin.
Well, China maintains the hardest hit. This is kind of an old article. They're only stating that coronavirus has infected 2,500, but I guess this has been going on for a while. I read an updated number on that last night that was putting it somewhere around 4,000 or 5,000. Oh, here we go. This morning, the outbreak could cost China $62 billion in lost growth. Just the economic toll of, and it's interesting because I'm going to go ahead and hop to this next article where they're talking about the coronavirus has actually dropped the CO2 emissions of China by 25%. Due to businesses that have been shut down as a result of it, people who have been quarantined, not enough people to run these factories and stuff. It's so widespread, and they're doing so much to contain this virus that has actually reduced China's CO2 emissions by right around 25%, which incidentally, since China is, according to the article,
well, yeah, not only I'm gonna throw that in there. Shut down, but the cars, they're not driving their cars either.
Exactly. That's a big part of it. But according to this article, it's actually more than a quarter. It's 36% from the same as from this time last year. It's the lowest since 2015. It's power stations as well as refineries and things that have been shut down or turned to reduced levels of operation. Domestic flights are down over 70% as a result of this. In some areas, they're down 40%. Now, according to this article, that puts the global CO2 emissions down by 10%. Because China is such a heavy polluter.
Dang.
I'm kind of wondering if maybe we need to let the coronavirus kind of run its course.
Save the planet.
I mean, that's some heavy numbers. Those are real numbers. That's real progress. I feel for the families and people affected by this virus, but we are now actively fighting to pollute the planet as a result of curing this virus. Just throwing that out there. That's what we're doing. You know, all these Greenpeace talks and everything else, I'm all about, you know, finding a plan to save the planet. If this isn't it, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they're talking about trying to reduce emissions by like 3% globally. We're looking at 10% in a matter of a couple months right now. This isn't a 10-year plan. This happened right away.
Quarantine.
Couple people just need to take the L. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you know, 4,000 or 5,000 people, and again, I feel bad for their families and the people that are affected, but the normal flu kills tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not globally, every year, and those are ones that we have vaccines for. You know, car accidents, how many people die from those every single day?
Yep.
You know, according to a commercial I saw, people die of prescription pills every 3 minutes. I don't know. That just seems like a heightened number. Yeah, I don't remember. It's like every 3 or 5 minutes someone dies from prescription drug overdose. According to commercials, it sounds a little hyped, but no, that's your latest coronavirus news. You heard it here probably second or third, but you still heard it here.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Anyway, moving on.
Police in Gainesville, Florida are investigating after a contractor doing work on a home Monday discovered a half a dozen jars containing human tongues inside a crawl space beneath the residence. Police were dispatched to the home after receiving a 911 call that human remains dating back to the 1960s had been found in the crawl space of a home belonging to the ex-wife of Dr. Ronald A. Bowman.
No.
According to the Tampa Bay Times. Once on the scene, investigators found half a dozen plastic gallon-sized jars containing human tongues.
What do you do with those?
He said the labels on the jars dated back to the late 1960s. He was a world-renowned pathologist and former University of Florida professor.
Were they pickled? Or it's just like tossed in with formaldehyde?
I guess. He said he told WCJB that he had obtained the specimens as part of his research and brought them home with the intention of using them for additional work. He stored them in the crawl space because it was a cool area. He said he used the tongues for research on thyroid and neck conditions were meant to be brought back to the university.
That's interesting.
His ex-wife now owns the home and forgot the jars were beneath the house.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you forgot your tongue collection. Maybe you ought to ask... never mind. That's inappropriate. That's weird, though. I wonder what they used them for. I wonder what kind of research he was going to do with human tongues. But they're investigating that?
They were. It looks
I was going to say, it sounds like they were obtained legally, but I'm not 100% sure how. Did I miss something in the article?
Yeah, they said they don't suspect any foul play. Just... but that's still creepy. I mean...
That is creepy. But speaking of foul play,
Oh,
a British parrot went missing 4 years and returned speaking Spanish. Did you see this?
we did. Or I did. Yeah.
Did you already talk about this? We haven't talked
That's what
about
I'm
this.
trying to. I don't remember.
I don't think we did, because I don't think so. This is
okay.
maybe.
I know I've seen the story. I don't remember if we talked about it.
Okay, I was gonna say, because this parrot needs to be talked about. Nigel the parrot. Now that you say that, I think we might have actually talked about this before. But this article was just posted 2 days ago.
It had to be a repost because I saw it like either last weekend or the weekend before when I was doing research.
Oh. Okay. I wonder if we did or not.
I don't remember whether. I remember the story, and I thought we talked about it.
Well, how about the burrito throwing guy? The guy threw burritos. It's happened in San Francisco. They're asking for the public's help in finding a man who aggravated assault, he's suspected of aggravated assault at a restaurant in the Richmond district on Super Bowl Sunday. According to the police, the suspect entered Gardo Tequeria. Yeah, would you eat there? If I can't pronounce it, I'm not eating there. And I definitely can't pronounce that. Anyway, he rolled in there at 6:30, and he seemed very agitated, and he was verbally abusive, and then he threw a burrito at somebody and left. Apparently, the staff, in addition to a napkin, he also threw a napkin holder, the electronic card reader, injuring an employee in the process. How bad are you going to get hurt? What do they make? Are these napkin holders made out of stone and cast iron? Come on now. It's described as a Latino man believed between 45 and 50. That's kind of a narrow age range. So I believe the suspect is between 37 and 39 and a half. I don't know. 5 years at that age. Believe he's in his late 40s. That's kind of rough. He could be any age. But anyway, he threw a burrito. If you happen to be in the San Francisco area and was at that dumb restaurant, make sure you call the police, because that guy threw a burrito.
Assault with a delicious weapon.
Ooh, I like that.
So what do you think the punishment should be for peeing in an office coffee maker?
I think you should get a high five.
A high five for peeing in the coffee
Yeah, what's the punishment for that?
Yeah,
hey, look, we live in basically cancel culture right now. It's like if somebody does something wrong to you, you want to either rid them of your life completely or harm them in some maliciously funny way. Eye drops have always been one of the go-tos of what I find entertaining on the internet. I love reading about eye drop assaults. Mostly because those people crap themselves nearly to death. And I find that funny. But peeing in the coffee maker, I say that guy's heading straight to management.
An Alaska-based airman was punished last week for reportedly peeing in an office coffee maker, according to a report. The incident was reported in a newsletter written by the Legal Office of Anchorage Joint Base on February 13th, although many of the details remained a mystery. According to the newsletter, the Airman First Class violated 2 articles, one being Article 92, dereliction of duty for failure to refrain from urinating in the office coffee maker. The Airman also allegedly violated Article 86, absence without leave for 5 days away from duty.
So he was almost AWOL, and then he peed in a coffee maker.
Apparently.
Okay, I take back everything I said because this guy is in our military. I don't believe that is, those are things that you do while invading, like, Saddam Hussein's palace. You take a poop in the golden toilet and you pee in that coffee maker. That makes sense, but no. No, military personnel should not be peeing in coffee makers. Sorry. Not on American soil. That's... should not be soiling American soil on American soil. That's a rough one. I'll have to work on it. So what are they, suspending him or something?
It didn't exactly say. I guess he's on some sort of... I don't know. They didn't say what's been done about it yet. But just that it's been filed in the courts. So I'm not 100% sure what they're doing about it, but
he's probably going to prison forever.
For peeing in a coffee pot.
Yeah, we could destroy American history, but...
Don't mess with someone's coffee, man. That's just rude.
It's rude, but that guy might have been rude first.
Well, I mean, it's just not one. It was the office coffee pot, so there was probably multiple people who were drinking from that.
Probably hated everyone in that office. I kind of understand how that guy feels sometimes. Without giving too much away, sometimes I'm not very pleased with the people I work with. Present people not excluded. I don't know. I don't know. The guys I work with are alright. But I've had jobs.
I was gonna say, you and I don't even work in the same department.
No, we don't. No, I wasn't talking about you. Jeez. I heard that there's a cell phone group over there on that side of the building. Speaking of which, I'm going to bring that up right now. That essentially their work is done around 1 or 2 o'clock and they basically just play on their phones until 5.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Just nod your head if you know where it's at.
I don't know. Not a whole department anyway. I'm not aware of that.
I'm aware of like an entire section. Maybe it's just a pod. I don't know. But yeah.
No idea.
That's the rumor. I'm trying to find out where it's at so I can transfer. Because I too like playing on my phone. But I don't.
I know because
it's against the rules.
Do that. Mm-hmm. I just don't know of a whole department who does that.
Maybe it's not a whole department. Maybe it's just like one area, a little small area. I don't know. But I hear it's around 2 o'clock. So essentially they get 3 hours out of the day to play on their cell phones.
Dang. It's not our area, that's for sure.
Yeah, I used to have a job where it was a good day when my cell phone was dead when I left. And I look back on those work days and think, man, that was nice. Yeah. Hey, interesting fast fact. Have you ever noticed that Iceland and... Never mind. I ruined that joke.
Okay.
Alright, forget everything I just said. Have you ever noticed that Ireland is just one sea away from being Iceland? On the map, sea, like as an ocean.
Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah. You ever wanted to be taller, Joel?
Nope. Definitely not. I've actually wanted to be a little bit shorter, thanks.
Well, this guy could probably do the same thing for you. Apparently, there is an actual surgeon that is doing leg extension surgeries for men wanting to be taller. Now, in your case, he might actually be able to make you a little shorter. Ooh. They would have to take a massive amount of your legs to just get you down to 6 foot. Yeah. Can you imagine how stubby you'd be, though? That's what I keep wondering about this surgery. Is there's no pictures of it. Granted, this is from Futurism.com, so I doubt the validity of their their stuff. Their
Not to mention, the rest of your proportions would be off.
oh, way off.
Yeah.
Way off.
If I had that much removed just to get me closer to 6 foot, I would look really weird because now my arms are longer.
Or dragging the floor. I mean,
I could gorilla around.
Yeah, no, it's
Just call me Magilla.
apparently it runs the customers about $100,000. So it's short rich people getting these leg extensions. Did he not say that you're going to look like a T-Rex? Because could you imagine becoming taller? Yeah. I'm not 100% sure why.
Just get some. Just wear shoe lifts, man.
Yeah. It's about what's going on. If you need some of this, go to Vegas and get you some leg extensions. He cuts the bones in half and installs these metal spacers, and then you have to wait for the bone to grow back. Yeah, it's like getting a rod in your bone. The only difference is the bone has to grow around the rod now. Yeah, it's some weird. It sounds risky, and I kind of
probably really painful.
I kind of doubt the actual. We're not worried about fake news here, though, guys. We're just looking to entertain. If it's a lie, hey, were you happy? That's all it's about. I'm not trying to get you to vote. I'm trying to get you to listen to leg extensions. Calm down.
So, hey, Todd.
Yes, Joel?
Do you like snow?
Oh, I love snow.
Do you? Then maybe this wouldn't apply to you.
I mean, I hate snow. It's terrible.
In North Carolina, they have these plants that grow, but apparently they smell pretty bad. They're I'm trying to remember. They're skunk cabbage is what they're called. Fatal if eaten. They smell terrible, but apparently they give off heat that melts snow around them. So, is it worth it? Terrible smelling plants, but they melt the snow.
I kind of do want them because, like in movies where, there's like some horror movies or sci-fi movies, they go to those weird planets or whatever, and then there's those toxic plants that give off this weird gas that'll kill you. That's what that sounds like. I want some. As house plants. It's like, what's that? It's my, what'd you call it? Devil's cabbage? What was it called?
They call it skunk cabbage.
Skunk cabbage. Yeah.
Apparently, when the leaves are crushed or bruised, it gives off the smell of a skunk or rotting meat.
Yes. I brought you this house plant. You just gotta slap it around. That's awesome. No, yeah, I'd fill like my driveway, like line the driveway with them.
Line the driveway and the walkway with them.
Come home half buzzed and run over like half of them. Wow! Like, just pull in there real quick and just you just like smash a bunch of them, and then the whole block is. Whoa! Why? Just why?
Did someone run over a skunk?
People's pets are dead in the front lawn.
Speaking of which, I know for a fact someone nailed a skunk in front of our house last night.
The skunks are on the move. I've passed 2 dead ones on the way to work. There was one here in town, pretty close to my house. And, oh my goodness. Quick one. Hong Kong gang steals hundreds of toilet paper rolls. Hoppin' Hong Kong action. Surprised Jackie Chan didn't show up to stop this fight. All right. Toilet paper rolls are currently in short supply due to shortages caused by panic buying from the coronavirus outbreak. Knife-wielding men armed a delivery man outside a supermarket in Mongkok District, police said. The police arrested 2 men and recovered some of the stuff, but there's some more that are gone. Oddly enough, they sold 600 rolls of toilet paper with a total American dollar value of $218.
Dang.
Apparently, they're probably going to sell them for a lot more than that, since this is black market booty tickets. I don't know. I'm not sure why black was so hard to pronounce. Have I become so politically correct I can't even say the word black anymore?
Sorry. Black market booty tickets.
I couldn't say it. It's not even hard to say. I just couldn't even say it. I couldn't even get past black. You're welcome. I made that up. I didn't want to say tickets. Oops.
Way to go, Todd.
Yeah, I did it.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. That's about all the time we've got today.
Is it?
You want to take us out?
Well, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And if you guys have any, thing you want to say in the comments, please tell us what you think about the show. Yeah,
we'll talk about whatever stories you got creeping up too. Yeah, if you want us to, you want us to make fun of anything you send us, we'll do it. We're cool about it.
Yeah,
we're equal opportunity, stupid article reading people.
There are certain things we don't cover, but
that's all right though. We'll make mention that you sent us something. How about that? We'll say, hey, he sent us this thing that we don't talk about. The thing that must not be spoken of.
Dun, dun, dun.
Anyway, our social media links are down in the description. Thank you all for watching, and hope you enjoyed yourselves.